Okay, here we go. Video number 2. So this semester I'm teaching 2 classes. One of them is a theory class, one's a creative writing class. And so I'm going to try and keep this intro sort of relevant to both of you. I am Marianne. You can call me Marianne or Professor Marianne or Professor Mohanraj. Whatever you like, Dr. Mohanraj, all of those are totally fine. I'm pretty informal, as you may have figured out already, so don't hesitate to use Marianne if that's what you'd like. I was born in Sri Lanka in 1971, and we moved to the US when I was 2.5. I've lived all over the country, grew up in New England, college at the University of Chicago, followed a boyfriend to Philadelphia, went to Mills College in Oakland, California for grad school, met up with him again in Salt Lake City, ended up doing my PhD there at the University of Utah in lit and creative writing, and then joined him in Chicago. And I've been here ever since. I've taught at Roosevelt University, Northwestern, and I've now been at UIC for over a decade. I am primarily a fiction writer. I have written in multiple genres. I started out in erotica and then mainstream lit. Science fiction is where I mostly live these days, but I also write food essays, lots of nonfiction essays, poetry. My most recent book was a cookbook, so I have ADD and I am easily distracted, and so I generally have a zillion projects going on. I also do a lot of community work, so I founded an online magazine, Strange Horizons, which is one of the top magazines in the field in science fiction, fantasy. I run a nonprofit, the Speculative Literature Foundation, speclit.org, which gives grants to writers, so any writers in the group, feel free to check it out. They're free to apply for. And I ran for office, and I currently serve on the school board in Oak Park, which is where I live, the high school for Oak Park River Forest. Okay, I think that is most of my intro stuff. I live, as I said, in Oak Park with my partner is a mathematician. He teaches at UIC as well. We have 2 kids, ages 12 and 14, a dog, and a cat. So very American suburban family, I suppose. And I spend most of my time writing and when I'm not teaching you guys. So that's what I will be probably talking about a fair bit in the creative writing class. For the lit people, I focused on post-colonial lit in grad school, but my interests have really expanded since then. So, I teach a course on writers of color in science fiction and fantasy. I teach women in lit classes, survey of American lit, Asian American lit, sort of whatever the department asked me to do. But I suppose I'd say my specialty in terms of theory is post-colonial lit and to some extent feminist and queer lit. So when we get to that part of the course, you'll probably find me going a little more in depth than during the rest, which is mostly going to be a survey of different kinds of theory and why we might use them as we're engaging with literature. Okay, so that's a little very, very brief intro to me, and I hope that gives you a better sense of what you're going to be in for this semester. I hope we're going to have fun. I think we will. It's always, the challenge of remote is that it's easy to be disengaged. And so I'm going to be doing my best to get you guys engaged with each other and with the class. So expect a lot of, team building exercises and the like in the first couple of weeks as we're remote. Once we start having in-person classes, it will be better, but the sooner we can get to know each other in person, the more effective the class will be, and I think the more enjoyable for all of you. To that end, when we are on Zoom, if you're at all comfortable having your video on, I'm going to ask you to please do so. It's just, since we don't know each other, it's going to make things so much easier. Feel free to blur the backgrounds. And if you can't have the video on, maybe you have to. I've had students who had to take class while they were driving someplace, which makes me super nervous. So I hope you aren't doing that. Or students whose phones, I had one international student whose phone didn't have capability for video, or you just don't have enough Wi-Fi connectivity at the moment. So if you can't have the video on, I understand, but if it's possible for you, it really does help, especially when you're talking. And I hope to have all of you talking a lot, so brace for that. Okay, I think that's it, and I will let you go for now, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Very excited to do that. Okay, bye.